There's a spider. No! Benny, literally. No! Okay, you have to unlock the door though, because I locked the door, so you have to unlock it with the little key thing. Hurry up. Stop! No! It's moving! It was moving. Now I don't know what happened to it. Where did it go? It's right there.
Where?
It's right there. It's right here on this light right here. Oh my god.
Are you serious?
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god. What is that?
That tiny little spider. Yeah, made a big spider.
No, because it was literally right here. Like,
Dude, you couldn't just flick it like that. That's all it took.
no.
Well,
In action. Too much is going on. Welcome to the video. I hope the audio is good. Oh, look good. Okay. So this is gonna be story time. Oh my gosh. Super original. LOL. We love it. But literally, I've had this story since 2019, y'all. And that was the year of stories for me personally. But this one is extremely embarrassing. So I thought I would share it with y'all. Like, how do we dive into this? How do we ease into this story? I don't even know how to do it. Okay, this one's gonna be cringy. This one is gonna be, oh my god, you did that. So be prepared. Get you a little drinky, get you a little, snack or something, because this one is gonna be a little bit long. So you may or may not know that I used to work on movie sets. Not as a superstar though, as the person who got them coffee. I was just pretty much the production assistant. So I was like running in between, back and forth. That's a whole story in itself. So if y'all want to hear about like when I was working on film sets, just let me know. As I was working there, I developed a crush. I did, y'all. I did. It was so embarrassing. It's very embarrassing to look back on now. If you see this video, which you probably never freaking will, there's no way you watch my videos. There's no way. I pretty got it, girl. If other people who know this person and know this story watches this video, this is all for funsies. This is my truth. I was working at a non-profit that was like helping people get into like film and everything like that. So through that, I got a job on film sets. Okay. That's the first part. So one of those days, it was like a little cohort thing where they would like teach us from professionals in the industry, like, hey, I'm a guy that does lights. This is how we do it on set. This guy was a production assistant. He came to talk to class. He was very cute. I don't have like any intentions to like give this person. This was the past. He came to speak to our class. He was just talking about what it's like to be a production assistant. And me, I'm crazy, girl. Like I'm listening, like, yeah, in my head, like I've already planned everything. Oh my gosh, like this is what our first date looked like. Being crazy. But I was like in that weird phase where I was still developing confidence from the summer before. Because 2018 summer was a whole nother battle. 2019 was like the year of me like just doing things that I don't really do. But I really wanted to speak to him. I really wanted to talk to him. I wanted to chat him up and everything. I think I did ask him a couple questions in class, like just to get him to be like, oh, who's that girl over there? He did not do that.
He did not do any of that.
He literally didn't even remember me until I told him who I was. It was that bad. Fast forward, after that class, we had an assistant director come in to come talk to us, and he wanted to hire 3 of us to work on his film set. Can you tell where this is going? So I got picked. And here's the funny thing. I didn't want to do it. Like I know, ooh, tomatoes. But I literally did not want to work on film sets. I went into it with the idea of, I'm gonna be a video editor. I'm gonna be super famous. I didn't really have any direction for video editing. I just wanted to do it. And I knew that like being in the film industry is how you would do that. I barely knew anything about editing or anything like that. But I love movies. You know what? Let me give it a chance. Let me give it a shot. You never know what could come from it. I said, yeah, you know what? I'm down. I had anxiety through the roof, y'all. Cause I was just always scared. I was always anxious and nervous. This first movie set that I got to work on, he was working on it too. So we both ended up in the same movie set. Now, I didn't know he was gonna be there. Honestly, he didn't even remember who I was. But like, when I was like, oh, like, yeah, I was in the class with like, the one that you came and spoke to. The one that was 2 weeks ago, the one literally had to like remind him the whole fucking scene. And then he's like, oh yeah. And I don't even think he really remembered me, to be honest with y'all. He probably didn't. Me being delusional, I'm like, yeah, like that was me. yeah. So then I get to working on the set because I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on. I had somebody else from my cohort with me, so it wasn't as like scary, kind of. We're all working together because we're all the 3 PAs on the set. So at the end of my first day, I made sure to say bye to my crush. Oh, and you know, we should give him a name.
What's his name? What's his name? I got nothing on a name. Come on, baby, what's the name?
Let's call him Jake. Okay. I say goodbye to Jake, and I was taking Ubers to and from the job. I can't remember if this was the first movie or the second movie, TBA. The first movie, I didn't even have a license. I didn't have a car, none of that. And we were chatting and everything. Like, we were chatting a lot the first day. I don't even remember what we said. So one of the days I was there, bitch, I can't remember if it was the first day or if it was the next day or if it was the last day. Whatever. One of the days I was there, we were in like this jewelry store. I was like standing there, and y'all, sometimes I guess I dissociate. I don't know. I'm using this lightly, but like I literally was just standing there and I was just like, you know, mind my business, like literally blank stare.
I don't need friends. They disappoint me.
Like literally zoned out. They all like, yeah, let's move this here, let's do that. Moving everything around and everything. And he's standing next to me. And Jake is like,
are you good?
And I was like, huh? Huh? Like, do I look weird? Then I was like, damn, I look weird, don't I? He was like,
no, you just look like, you know, like you zoned out.
I was like, I'm just thinking or something. I don't know what the fuck I said. But I just was like, oh, like, you know, I'm just thinking. I have that issue where I just like zone out and I'm just thinking about everything and nothing. So I can't tell you what I thought about. I can't even remember what he said to me. But all I was thinking was... But yeah, that was like the first moment we really like chatted and like, I don't want to say connected, but we like human to human, not like coworkers, you know what I mean? I already told him when I got there, like, I'm nervous as hell. Like, he's like,
there's no need to be nervous, like it's gonna be chill, like we're all here working together, it's gonna be fine, whatever.
He was very comforting. And y'all, he's a Cancer for the girlies that love Astro. And y'all, when I say I was nervous, like, I'm not joking. Usually when I would be on set, I would choose to sit outside and do fire watch is what they call it, when you just literally watch all the shit that is for like the film, not being involved at all with the film, which is what I should have done. But I was just so scared and I was just like, I want to isolate. I don't want to be around everybody. Like, this is too much. I guess it was overstimulating. I don't know. And this is the first day. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stand out here. I can do fire watch. It's okay. You can go in, I can do fire watch. Cause I just always felt like I was in the way or like I didn't know what to do. So I was like, you know what? Let me do nothing. Let me go where no one is so that I won't have to worry about anything. So a lot of the time I would just be by myself because I was just like scared as hell. I was scared as hell, y'all. Yeah, I remember Jay came outside and he was like,
do you want to go inside and like get a chance to watch or anything?
I was like, oh yeah, sure. No one damn well I wanted to stay out there because I was just like overwhelmed and I didn't want to be in there. It was like a small space. There's so many cameras and cast and then there's a crew and it's just like a lot. It really is. Honestly, I don't remember much of what happened from the first movie. I'm not even gonna sit here and try and think because I literally can't. We grew closer together, but like we weren't really cool with each other like that. TBH, the second movie is where all the juice is at, so let's just skip to the second movie because I don't remember much of the first one. But we had a good time. The whole movie wrapped and there was an after party premiere, I guess, for the movie. All of the people who worked on it and like a guest of yours can come to the party. Now I didn't go because I had anxiety and I got scared. And I was like, I don't want to go, I'm scared. Which is like, girl, stop. Now turns out he didn't go either, so I thought, man, I'm never gonna see him again because I didn't get his number from the first movie. I got it in the second one. A lot of us cohort members and PAs followed each other like on Instagram and everything because it was like a way we could keep in contact with each other, and I think I follow him and he followed me back on the first movie set. If it was the second one, whatever. But just know that I left that first movie set being like, dang, I wonder if I'm gonna see him again. I don't know if I'm gonna see him again. 'Cause I didn't even know if I was getting hired onto another movie set. Right after it ended, my assistant director was like, yo, like, are you free for these next coming months? Cause I want to get you on a movie with me. So I got to work again as a production assistant. Jake was his like #1 production assistant. So I was like, ooh, girl. if I work on another movie with him, that means Jake is gonna be there, girl. I was like, yeah. Now what's lame is, low-key, I kind of took the job just to see him again. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, that's kind of what I did. Cause like I said, I don't really love working on film sets. My main focus is like acting. I really want to get into that, but I'm like scared as hell, as always. Yeah, I'm free. Like, of course, like part of me did it because Jake. Then another part of me did it because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm good at this. I was like proud of myself because I told you I was like scared of being a failure. And then he liked all the work that I did. I think it was like a month later. I showed up. It was the first day there. So I'm excited, like, oh my God, I'm about to see Jake. Yeah. So then I get there and I see him and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know you were gonna be working on this movie. Now I didn't know for sure, but I had speculations. So I kind of did like pretend, but girl, I knew it was possible. He's like,
oh yeah, like how you been?
Yeah, like we literally caught up for just a little bit and everything, and we chatted and we had a good time. So at some point on the second movie, we were following each other on Instagram and everything. This is like the time we were like actually getting closer as like people. I didn't really get a vibe that he liked me back like that. I would tell my friends like, oh, he did this today, he did that today, and they'd be like,
He likes you, he likes you.
so let's see where this all goes, because y'all, let's fast forward, because towards the end of the project, honestly, we were pretty closer because it was like just us, like as like PAs, and the PAs usually all like get along together and they're like really cool, really chill together. That's one thing I do miss about being a PA. It's just like that little goofing that you can do on set, and you get a little call sheet to say like who's gonna be there, what their department is, what time you need to show up. I saw Jake's name on there, so I'm like, okay,
Yo, shut the fuck up.
I'm literally so like, this time around he was like the #1 PA. Like you get like different levels of PAs. He was like the number one PA. So he was like real busy. So he was like transpo, which is like transportation. He was picking up the actors and then he would drive them to the set. So wherever the location was for that day, he would drive them there. Like a lot of the time he was busy. We didn't see each other a lot. Okay, let me go back. This is gonna be so annoying to edit. On the second movie, I had a license, y'all. So I was driving to and fro. The first day of the movie was downtown at a hotel. So I drove there and they had like specific parking and everything. Tell me why I literally spent a good 5 minutes just driving around the place that I was supposed to park at because I couldn't figure it out. I was so stressed out. That's why I don't like to go places and not know where I'm going. Finally, I'm like, oh my God, I found a place. Tell me why. The only place to park was like at the tip top of the place. I got up there. It wasn't like we closed down the whole hotel. Like people were still there and everything. I get there and I get my little walkie because like that's what we're supposed to do. They hand me my walkie and they were like,
do you have a license?
And I was like,
Yeah.
and they're like,
Okay, so we're gonna need you to move the car.
and I'm like, you better stop! Whose car? I'm like, oh yeah, the wardrobe just got here and they need their car moved. Like in my head, like I'm scared to do it. You know, this is what PAs are for. I understand my place and all this, so I do it. I didn't want to mess her car up. I already had a hard time finding the place to begin with. So y'all, tell me why I'm literally driving in this van that I've never driven before. Thank God it wasn't stick shift or anything weird like that, right? But like I'm driving and I got like my GPS right here. I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like it was just so goofy. It was like such a like movie moment. Now somehow this time, walking back to the hotel, I get lost. Cause I get lost so easily when I do anything that I literally have to use GPS to get back, and I didn't even use it right. Cause I was using it to get to the parking garage. But then I was like, oh yeah, I remember how I got here. Like I can just walk back. I'm walking back, y'all. I literally walked 5 minutes to the wrong direction. So I know the day back at the hotel, like, where is this girl at? What happened? I finally get back to the hotel after I used GPS to go the right way. And he was there that day. So we chatted and everything. Oh, hey, what's going on? Oh, I left this detail out. Y'all, when we see each other, he gave me a hug. So he literally gave me a hug, y'all, and I was like, oh my God, like we're so connected, me being delusional. And keep in mind, I hate when people hug me. I hate when people touch me, but I was like, you know, so very excited. So at the end of the night, he was getting ready to go drop off the cast. The PA that's like transportation usually goes around like picking people up, dropping them off and everything. At the end of the night, like he literally was like,
oh yeah, do you want me to like drop you off at your car?
Because I told him I drove there instead of taking Uber, because I'm like, I drive now. So he's like,
Yeah, I can drop you off like at the car.
or no, that's not what happened. I was gonna walk back to the parking garage, and he's like, oh, I can walk with you. Like, I'm parked there anyway. You know, don't. Yo, wait, okay, go back. I remember at one point I was like running. It was like nighttime at this point. So I run down to go get something on the elevator, and the guy who works there, he was like, oh, what's your name? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or I think he said, y'all filming a movie or something like that. I can't remember. Being fully transparent, I don't get hit on in real life, okay? It's very rare. And it's very weird when it does. A lot of the times, I don't even know what's happening until I'm like, wait a minute. This dude who worked at the hotel, and he was like trying to flirt with me. And I didn't know it, but like I did. Like I realized that in the middle of him doing his little spiel, I was like, wait a minute. Ew, no. Like I want Jake. Like, ew. Plus he wasn't my type at all. So I'm like, oh, you know, like I gotta go. I'm sorry, I'm getting a message on the walkie, babes. I gotta go. At some point, it was like near the end of the night, and I'm this type of person where I have to like literally tell somebody that something just happened to me. It was weird, like especially a situation like that. And plus I think I took it as an opportunity to see if he would get jealous or be like, girl. I walk up to Jake and I'm like, this dude just tried to hit on me. Like, oh my god, this dude was just flirting with me, so weird, so random. And he's like,
What?
like that, like I don't remember how he did it. He's like,
Oh my god, what?
you know? And I was like, yeah, it was so weird. It was like so random. So anyways, yeah, he didn't get jealous or nothing, so I was a little sad, but I was like, yeah, okay, I guess. Ooh. But like I said, like I didn't get any idea that he liked me. I kind of did it just to do it. Also to like vent and be like, oh my god, that just happened to me. Because I'm like that. So it's the end of the night. I was gonna walk back to the garage so I can get my car and drive home. And he's like,
oh, like I'll walk with you, you know, you want to be safe, you know, like it's late at night, you know, I don't want you just walking around.
yo, the littlest gesture to me is I love you and I want to take care of you. That's so ill, but like that's what I was like, he doesn't want me to die. Oh my god, you know. And on top of that, I think I really remember saying, yeah, because I don't know if that guy might try to follow me or something, blah blah blah, like talking about the dude. Trying to slip that in there to remind him, like, I'm trying to think about all the repercussions that action brought on. Like, you know, life is strange. So anyways, we walked to his car, and he's like,
oh, you can get in and I just give you a ride up.
And girl, the bar is at the bottom of the earth. Because I was like, you're gonna drive me up there and get the car. And when you can just drive away and let me go walk up to the car by myself, like, girl, the bar is at the bottom. So I literally was so impressed, and I was like, oh, I'm in the car with him, you know, lame as hell. So yeah, like he drove me up to the top, and I remember this is so lame. Ew, this is so lame. I remember sitting in the car and I knew he could see the behind of me. Also, before I even got in the car, he's like, oh, that's your car? I'm like, yeah. And I was like, it's really old, I know. You know, like kind of embarrassed because it was like from 1996. He's like,
no, that's a classic car. You should be proud of that.
I was excited. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh my gosh, like he thinks my car is cool. Knowing damn well, I didn't even buy that car. I didn't even want that car. I didn't even like that car. Like, I didn't even think it was cute. I'll be honest with y'all. But I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? You're right. Yeah, you're right. So then I get in the car and I'm like, I know he can see me from behind. First of all, I have a whole ritual when I get in the car. Okay. I have to like do a whole bunch, and it includes finding the perfect song on the perfect playlist to get moving with, getting the vibe for driving. I get in the car and his lights are flashing on the back of the car, so like I know he can see everything I'm doing. Overly conscious. Let me flip around so I can show you. This is me in the car, just like me in the car, literally trying to like find the right song, and I'm just like running with you in the night, doing the most for nothing. Through what I realize, it's the chemicals that can't
inside.
Lame, like, and I guess I took too long because at a certain point he drove off. He drove off. He's like, I mean, I don't know what this bitch is doing. It wasn't even that long, y'all. Don't judge me. It wasn't even that long. I finally was like, oh, okay. The coast is clear. Let's go. Let's be normal again. So we were ending like the project almost. We were getting closer and closer to the ending. So I felt way more comfortable to just be like, LOL, me. Like, you know, just being me all the way. A lot of the days we were filming together, he would always come find me and like hang out near me, by me. And we would like talk and chat. But like, that's what we would do. We were chatting and I was like, it was like some kids over there like at the next room or something, and I was like, I'm so lame for this. Ugh, I don't want to say it. He said something and I was like, oh yeah, like, do you want kids? I didn't want kids. I didn't want kids at all. And he's like,
I don't know, maybe one day.
And that was my cue to be like, oh, you don't have like a girlfriend. I hate thinking about it. I hate that I even like when you know how the story ends, you just be like, ooh, why did I do that? It was kind of obvious what I was trying to get to now and get the answer out. Okay, it was very obvious. And he's like,
oh no, yeah, you know, like I'm just like at a point right now where I'm trying to like get my life together.
Like, yeah, he's getting his life together right now. So I'm like, me ignoring all of the fact of him saying he don't want a girlfriend to me acknowledging, oh my gosh, he doesn't have a girlfriend.
Child. Anyway, so
I'm like, okay. And then I think he asked me if I would want kids. And I was very honest. And I said no. Because that's really how I felt. Now I'm a little different. I don't know how I felt. But back then I was like, ugh. Like, I don't know. No, definitely not. And then he's like,
yeah, it makes sense. You're pretty young.
He wasn't even that older than me, y'all. I was like 23. He had to be like, what, at the most 27? Then I was like, okay, he must see me as really young, man. Anyway, so at some point I stopped driving to the set, but I think it was the first movie. I was taking an Uber to work all the time, and he was like,
oh, I can drive you.
This dude was like driving me home because he was like, you're taking an Uber, you're wasting money. Like, hello, it is me from the future. Happy New Year. I had to come in and interrupt the past me because I was telling this story in such a weird way that it got annoying to edit. On the first movie, I was taking Ubers to the set and home. So on the first movie, the last day of filming, he was like, you're taking Ubers? I could just give you a ride home. Wait a minute. I'm still confused right now trying to like make this make sense.
You're confused. I'm fucking confused, bro.
So many of these days just collided and my memory is trash. So I'm trying to remember what movie set I was on. Shit. This is why I don't do story times, because I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, that's not what happened. On the first film, I strictly took Ubers to and from the different locations. And I remember on the final day, actually, he waited with me for my Uber. That's why I'm mixing things up, because I'm like, oh, I remember talking to him the final day of filming. Like, no, that final day that I was there, I took an Uber home. In the second movie, we were talking and everything, and we realized we lived in the same direction. But I said like an hour from where I really lived because I didn't know my neighborhood name for some reason. And he was like, oh, like I can take you home because I crashed my car. During the second film, my car, I crashed it. Okay, I like bumped into somebody else's car and I fucked up the mirror and I couldn't drive it. But before that happened, I was driving and I was like, hey, I got a car now, I'm driving. Remember I was talking about that with being in the parking garage and sitting there dancing. The first few days I was like, yeah, I'm driving, look at me, I'm driving. And then I crashed it. I was like, oh, you can drop me off at this point, whatever, and I'll just take the bus home. He gets halfway to my house. I was like, okay, you can drop me off here because I'm just gonna take the bus. It's like literally a straight shot to my house. He's like,
wait, where do you live?
and I was like, and he's like, Girl, I thought you lived. I'm glad I said something. Because I would have got on the bus in the middle of the night. He lived right near where he dropped me off to get on the bus. He could have just took me home. And he's like,
I can just take you home. Like, you're literally not that far from me.
he drove me all the way to my house. And I was like, I can't wait to tell my friends. He's like, oh yeah, like I'll see you tomorrow. That's when we exchanged numbers because he was going to pick me up for work and drop me off. Like, bro, this whole time I've been taking Ubers, we could have just been carpooling. He's like, yeah. And then I got his number. So like if we work together in the future, like I can just call him. And I'm pretty sure I asked him, never would you catch me asking a guy for his number now. I would rather watch the world burn than do that. Oh, just remembered more. I just remembered more. For the second movie, I started to carpool with him because he was a nice dude. Then he came to pick me up and then we went together. I'm obsessed. I'm taking this whole car ride to just chit chat and chit chat. I'm a motor mouth a lot of the time, but it was fun. Like it wasn't nothing crazy. How did I not see this happening? How did I not see this coming? Oh my God. I just realized I had a revelation right now, y'all. Okay. Find out what I realized in part 2.
Running with you